Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be a live trade video where I try to capture some of my trades as they play out live. Couple quick clarifications. Number one, I am trading futures. If you don't know what futures are, I'll put a link down below to a totally free 4-part series that'll walk through the futures market and how it all works. Second, I am trading futures through a prop firm. What is a prop firm? How does a prop firm work? Which prop firm am I using? You can learn more about that at the link you see at the top of the screen. In a nutshell, though, a prop firm is a way for you to have very little of your capital at risk, and then you have a whole lot of upside potential. So if that sounds like something that could be of value to you, then definitely check that out. One nice thing about futures is they are open pretty much around the clock, 23 hours a day, 6 days a week. So I am starting off actually pretty nicely in the green. So just keep that in mind. Again, these came from quote unquote last night because again, the markets are open essentially around the clock. And then the other thing that I'm going to be doing here, another nice thing about futures, is controlling my risk via the type of contract that I change. So futures are like options, except the nice thing here with these these contracts are they do not have theta. So if you're an options day trader, kick options to the curb, stop dealing with theta when you don't actually have to. But the nice thing here is that within futures, you can trade the same exact chart setups, but just in lower risk ways by choosing a less volatile contract. And when I say volatile, I just mean via the P&L. So that's what I'm doing here is these ones came from the NQ, which is a very, very volatile moving contract, but I am now going to do the MNQ. M is in, what is M? M is in Macy. There we go. So if I'm right, I'll regret it because I won't make as much because the gains do not add up as quickly. On the flip side, if I'm wrong, I'll be very happy because the losses do not add up as quickly either. So there we go. We have some nice upwards movement here. And wow. All right. Had that trend line mapped out, but I guess me flapping my lips. Wow. Okay. Quite the move. Quite the move. All right. Well, I can't be going along here. That would be way too much chasing. So I'll let this settle down here, but I'll keep you updated. All right. Crazy candle here up and then all the way back down and now starting to come back down. I'm going to look for, again, just kind of start small here. Potential short. Like I said, last time I was up here, it got rejected down. Maybe I hesitated. All right, I'll pause. All right, all the way back down here, which does this. Look at this. 2 huge bounces, 2 huge rejections. I'm short and out there for a quick little scalp. So for $43.50. Now, this is what I meant by regretting. Had I been using the NQ, they move 10 times faster. So that little trade there that lasted, I don't know, maybe 2 seconds would have been $430.50. Yes, you heard that right. The NQs move 10 times faster, but that is a great thing about futures is it gives you a great spectrum. If you're really loving a setup and you want to get aggressive, well, then you can do NQs. If you're kind of in this situation where you're green on the account, but you're like, okay, well, I don't want to risk necessarily giving it all back, then you can always just go to the MNQs. But fair warning, you will suffer from what I just did there too. If you're correct, you'll be like, why wasn't I just doing the NQs? But that's always hindsight bias for us. All right, what I'm going to do here is go for a short right there. If it wants to come back down, well, if this keeps popping up, then there will be no trade. All right, never mind. Wow. What a wild open. Look at this. And I say open because at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, when the New York Stock Exchange opens, that's when the volume kicks it into another gear. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, there's plenty of movement and volatility, in the off hours too, but that is why volume has increased right there. I don't know. This is so volatile. Really, I think I only need one. So just watch this number down here if I get filled and watch how it fluctuates. This is as slow as it can get on a day like this because not only am I doing the MNQ contract, I'm only doing one of them, assuming I get filled. Again, this is live. I don't know what's coming next. This is not a voiceover, so I don't even know if I'm going to get filled. But what? Okay, I'm in. Now watch how quickly this number fluctuates. This is just one. And I don't know. I thought that was bigger than that. But anyways, now if you're like, well, Clay, geez, that wasn't really that much. Okay, well, that was only one. You could take that number on this size account because again, I'm in a prop firm. On this size account, I could have changed that number as high as 60. Yes, 60, 60. So that movement that you saw, if you thought that was too slow, then okay. All you'd have to do to increase that movement in the P&L is, I mean, if you really want, I guess, put it up to 60. Then you're going to notice that going all over the place. But like I said, this is just, I mean, I'm not really meaning to turn this into a sales pitch for futures, but I suppose I am in some senses because they really are very, very solid. Okay, I'm going to try another short right here again if it wants to come back down. Okay, I'm in. And just look at how these are fluctuating. And this is just one. Think about that. I could take that number as high as 60 if I wanted to. This number up here. Added another one there. Added another couple there. And some more there. Blue line is my average. So there we go on that one. So now up 174. So that was the benefit of just starting small. Gave myself plenty of wiggle room. Pretty anticlimactic trade. Now, had I gone full size, that's a much different situation. But by starting small, like I said, gave myself plenty of wiggle room. I'll start the process over again. We'll just start at 1. Which again, if you start with 1 and then you're correct immediately, yeah, you'll be a little bit regretful. But in that situation, I was not right. My first entry point turned out to not be so good, but because I had plenty of flexibility in the trade, turned out to be an anticlimactic situation. But again, in hindsight, yeah. Had I done NQ, that gain would have been 10 times bigger. But before you just run right to the NQ, remember, any losses are also 10 times bigger. So it's give and take, give and take. Now, it's a movement downside here. Really a pretty choppy mess when you think about it. Look at all these failures up and then failures down. But still, plenty of range here. Plenty of wiggle room and range to pull profits out. And now back down it goes. All right, I will pause. Still just watching, and the thing pretty much all over the place, from choppy to it was looking like a nice move down and maybe the start of a methodical move down to now all of a sudden snapping, not quite all the way back up to its starting point, but very close. So on that note, I'm going to just go ahead and err on the side of caution and try not to get myself chopped to pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and just call it good. Before I go, though, I do want to personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering. So if you are a beginner trader or struggling trader, then I'm very confident this trade or this live class can help you, give you some things to think about that will assist you on your journey. If you are a battle-hardened veteran with a rock-solid strategy, I'm not quite sure you'll get anything from it. You are welcome to attend, but my confidence level is much lower. But like I said, beginner trader or somebody that's struggling, my confidence level is very high that you'll walk away from this class with some good, solid things to think about and consider. So go to claytrader.com/live or just check out the link in the description area to get signed up. So thanks for hanging out. Make sure you hit that like button. Take care and have a good one.